Happy Breast Cancer Awareness Month. What's up to everybody coming in? What's going on, guys? Today, I need you guys to call in. I need you guys to call in and chime in on today's topics. We got some hot topics today. We're going to be talking about some people. We're going to be talking about some things going on up in here, up in here. Y'all going to make me lose my mind.
That's right.
Yeah. So what's going on, everybody? It's your man Simeon Henderson, aka Mr. Chicago, and I am here with the one and only the Fly Guy.
And I'm here for you.
We got on our pink today, ladies, gentlemen, in support of black. I mean white. I mean shoot.
Breast
Breast
Cancer
Cancer
Awareness Month. That's what he's trying to say, people.
In honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's been a good week. It's been a good week. Things have been going down. Things have been good, and it's time to get started. How's everybody doing? Thank you guys for tuning in on IntellectualRadio.com, iHeartRadio, the Real Talk Podcast. We are here, and we are going to kick it off. First of all, I want to say rest in heaven to our man John Amos from Good Times. He died at the age of 84. He was also known for Coming to America. He was known for Roots. And here's the thing, Fly Guy. He actually died August 31st or 21st, August 21st, but they just informed everybody that he died. There was a lot going on with his death in terms of his home care, his health care, abuse, neglect, and people trying to take his money and things like that. So it's sad to see an icon like that and a person that was so influential and that was a part of our lives for so many years get taken advantage of like that. He played Gordy, the weatherman, on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, and he earned an Emmy nomination for his turn as the older Kunta Kinte on Roots. He did a lot of things for the business, a lot of things for blacks in Hollywood, and I just want to say rest in peace to John Amos. I remember one of my most memorable lines, Earl, was in Coming to America when he said, "I don't care if he the king or whatever, I kick his ass up in here." Oh man, the man was funny. He was a good guy, and
He was a great guy.
he did so many things.
And as we kind of tribute his life and his stardom, I just kind of want to go back for a moment about the history of the iconic show Good Times and a little bit about how John Amos came into that role and what that show was designed to do. First of all, the history of Good Times is that was the first full African American show on television, the first full African American family show, meaning there was a mom, there was a dad in the household, a strong father figure, and then there were the children. When Norman Lear and the directors first birthed the idea of Good Times, they wanted Esther Rolle to take the character of Florida Evans, the matriarch, but they wanted her to be a single mother and raising three children in the projects. And Esther Rolle declined to accept that character based on that stereotype. She refused to be a single mother living in the Cabrini Green projects, housing projects in Chicago, as a single mother. And she identified that she wanted a strong husband and father figure in the role. And she wanted that actor to be John Amos. She identified him. John Amos went, read for the role of James Evans with Norman Lear and Esther Rolle. After he read, Esther Rolle looked at Norman Lear. Lear looked at Esther Rolle. Esther Rolle then looked at John Amos and said, "I think we're going to be okay." Meaning she had given her signature approval for him to come into that role. And that show ran from 1974 to 1979. And then John Amos just kind of got frustrated with the writing technique of it. The character of JJ was not evolving. That was played by comedic Jimmy Walker, and Jimmy Walker was the oldest son. He was the oldest of the three Evans children. And John Amos did not see that character coming into anything of evolution. And so there began to be conflict. And as it is written, John Amos was obviously written off the show where he was killed in an automobile accident in the
Now,
state
do
of
you know why he
Mississippi.
was killed off the show?
Well, he was killed off the show. It's reported that he was killed off the show because he was very, first of all, vocal about the character of Jimmy Walker.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to do more with the show. He wanted to have more input. He felt that he was a talent and a creative himself, and it just was a conflict.
Well, Earl, I heard something different.
Well, what did you hear, Simeon?
I heard Fly Guy that he got killed off the show because he married a white woman.
No, I never heard that.
You got to do
Now,
your
see,
research, bro. Do your
rumors
research.
in these streets.
Do your research,
The
brother.
rumors in
And
these
speaking
streets.
about that, Earl, I'm gonna get on my soapbox for a minute. Has anybody ever paid attention to the theme song for Good Times? Hustling and surviving. Good times. Where is there good times about hustling and surviving?
Well, you was hustling and surviving to live in the projects.
Raised in the gutter. Good times. Ain't nothing good about the gutter. Temporary layoffs. Good time. Hey, you thinking about it now, ain't you, Earl? Think about it, Fly
No,
Guy.
so-
no, but think about it, Fly Guy. Come on now.
No,
Come- give me-
I
give me
hear
some
what you're
grace.
saying. I hear what you're saying.
Listen to all of the words in the song. There's nothing good about those times.
So I hear what you're saying,
But
I think those
With your red
the
bottom
good
hat on.
I think the good times becomes the memories that are made as you're surviving.
they
in
were
the
always
struggle.
struggling. They were always
That's what it was
struggling.
about, a struggle.
But how?
That's what the lyric
how-
just told you.
But
You can
how
ask
are
Sean
all
question.
those struggles good times?
Because
Fly
what
Guy?
don't kill you makes you strong,
Come on,
brother.
man. Come on, man.
What don't kill you makes you strong.
That's
nobody,
true.
nothing in life. Nobody
But
owes you nothing.
that's true.
That's why she used to tell JJ, "Don't go out and find nothing." Find was a metaphor for steal.
Yeah, of course.
So that's
And
what
if
it
you
was
out there
about.
stealing, you ain't having no good times.
That's
why you stealing.
okay.
I'm just
All
saying.
right. Well, that's it.
We're gonna agree to disagree on this one
So,
because that's my
so-
take.
so this is how he closes out
It's a
the
good.
life
Tell me it's not a good
segment
point.
on John Amos,
But tell me that's not
the
a good
strong
point.
father figure in good times.
But tell me
it's
it's
the
not a good
struggle
point. But is
of-
it a good point though?
I give you it's a point.
It's
I
a-
don't know that it's a
that's a-
good point, just like you don't think those were good times.
Come on, Fly Guy.
It's a good
Okay, watch
it's a
this.
point
Watch this,
because
everybody.
here's the
Do you
deal.
guys remember a few weeks ago? Fly Guy came back from a luxurious vacation.
Okay.
That was a good time.
That's it was.
Fly Guy is being honored. That is a good time. Earl has a thriving internet radio show. That is a good time.
But do you
Hustling
know
and
the
survive.
struggle?
Hustling and
Do you know the
surviving
struggle
is not a good
behind
time.
the accolades?
saying,
Do
I'm
you
just-
know what it took for Earl to get the show?
Yeah,
Do
but
you know how many no's and how much rejection he might have gotten before he
I'm
landed
sure he
the
did.
plane?
But
That's the struggle.
we never got to that in good times.
Okay. So
Everything was always a struggle. Even when they had a victory, here comes the bad time right behind it. The man get a good job and then they take it away. The man get a good job, then they say they only gonna pay him $3 an hour. Ain't no good time. It's
that's
just
part
struggle.
of the struggle, brother.
I just want to throw that out there. That's it.
I think
it's,
Simeon is kind of missing the point. But
No,
but
I got-
okay.
I got the point, Fly Guy.
Okay.
I was just making a point. That's all.
Okay.
And I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that I thought about that, and it was something I never ever thought about, Earl.
So did you listen to the lyrics when Steph Curry made that cartoon?
The
that
cartoon
Chitlin
was
Circle
terrible. That was
cartoon
I told
on
you that was-
Netflix.
That was terrible.
So the lyrics and
The baby
the
was
whole,
a drug dealer.
right? Exactly. So
what's good
the
about that?
overall nothing.
That's
brother.
stereotypical.
But here's the deal. What
Kids in the
that
projects
did
sell drugs.
was that poured gasoline on the fire. Because
Exactly.
to your point, you're talking about challenges and struggles. What was good about it? Well, where is the evolving when Thelma, the daughter of James and Florida Evans, has a son, and the grandson is a drug dealer?
Exactly.
Florida was a Christian woman that had principles and values. Good Times was about community.
Exactly.
Commune means to come together. You're talking rent parties. You're talking dinners. You're talking helping each other out.
Was they having a good time and coming together when they was getting them high
Getting who high?
in the show?
Who got high? Didn't nobody
In the
get
news
high?
show, they was
He's
selling drugs. He getting everybody.
but that's the point. The news show is a disaster.
Exactly.
It's a disaster. So here's the thing. We also want to look at having a plan. So tonight we're talking about Plan B.
I like
Now,
I like getting that fly guy.
so
He wasn't expecting that, guys. He was
so
not
that's
expecting that.
okay. But that's y'all know Fly
It's
Guy
real
can roll
talk,
with the punches,
but
baby.
it's real
It's
talk,
real
and
talk, real people.
sometimes
And I can roll with with the punches.
oh,
I
you
can
definitely
flow.
can. You definitely
I
can.
can flow, baby. But we can so looking at having a plan. So we know that in life we make plans.
Yes,
We plan when we're gonna get married. We try to plan when we're gonna have children. We try to make plans. Is birth control plan B? Is that a good or bad method? Now,
I think it's a good method.
so let's look at what is birth control plan B. Plan B is known as the morning after pill,
Right.
just for everyone's awareness.
And for those of
It,
y'all don't know, the morning after, like the night before, if you was shooting up the club,
this dude.
you just you had a good time, you got drunk, she got drunk, y'all fell into the bed, you shooting up the club, and then you wake up the next morning like, oh, what did we do?
So, but you did this. You took this act unprotected. You had nothing nothing prepared, nothing planned. So the plan B pill is a birth control. It's a method that a woman can take the
Mhm.
morning after she's had unprotected sex to prevent pregnancy. So there are a lot of people that researchers say that first of all, birth control may not be something people should be practicing because the purpose of men and women coming together is supposed to be to reproduce.
That's the
So if you're
purpose.
supposed to come together to reproduce, should you be taking birth control? Simeon.
Well, if you're coming to reproduce, no, you shouldn't be taking birth
Well,
control,
you
right,
should
Earl?
only be
But
having
if you having a good time and there's a oops or
so
a slip,
that's the problem right there.
or we know what happens when you shoot
You
up the
should
club in real life,
you
right?
should only be
There's casualties.
so
You
the
might
the
have had too many drinks and you got with Magilla Gorilla, and you woke up the next morning like, I can't have no baby that look like that.
well, that's the problem. If you follow the plan and the preparation, you should really only be sleeping with the person that you're married to or the person that you are receptive to having a baby with. Once again, which is why are people taking birth
You
control?
hear pastor over here?
I'm not
Y'all
I'm
hear
not trying to
pastor?
be the
Y'all hear
pastor.
pastor?
I'm not
You
trying to be
should
the
only be
pastor.
sleeping
I'm giving the
to
facts of
recreate
no.
life,
I'm giving the facts of
procreate.
why men and women are supposed to be coming together. And if we're coming together for that cause, why are you taking birth? You know, people came from having 14, 15 kids
That's the
back in the
facts.
day.
That's the facts. But what's the reality?
What
The
is the
reality
reality?
of it is people have sex. Why? Because it feel good. That's
Self-gratification.
why they
But that
having it.
don't make it right.
Right. But if you're having it for self gratification and you don't want to have a baby, there should be a way for you. Because see, let's get down to the nitty gritty.
Okay, so this
Everybody
comes up.
shouldn't be
Well,
having
let
babies.
me give this. This is one of the things, ladies and gentlemen, that's on the ballot in this election season. So Simeon and I told you we're going to be talking all things the election through November 5th.
Yeah.
And women's rights and reproductive rights is something that's on the ballot. Once again, real talk comes with everything that's current and relevant. The twins accompany us every
So when
week.
you talk about reproductive rights and you think women have the right to choose, the plan B pill is a good thing.
Well,
Because that woman has the right to choose if they want to have a child
so
with this man.
here's the deal. If you're going to choose to sleep with somebody, why not put a condom in there?
Because it don't feel
Why?
as good.
Well, I don't know how
We're
it
talking about
feels.
apples and oranges.
So, so
You still a virgin?
uh,
The 55-year-old virgin sitting next to me, y'all. And
no,
I got a
I
hat on
can't
and say,
say.
God, I'm not gonna lie today. I'm gonna tell the truth.
What don't feel good to one may feel okay to another,
Okay.
but it ain't about because a condom does more to protect you from pregnancy.
True. That's
So
true.
I think it's smart
Yeah, that's true.
if
I
you
mean, come on.
having a one night stand, as you just described, if you didn't fell out the club into the
Shooting up the
bed,
club.
and right, you know what I'm saying, and you don't think to protect yourself from something
Yeah.
unwanted more than pregnancy,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
the Plan B pill ain't gonna protect you
I'm
from,
with you on that. I'm
from
with you.
chlamydia.
It ain't gonna protect you from the
The clap.
let me ask you a question. This is a question for the fly guy. This is a question for Earl, the other Winfrey, and this is a question for everybody watching. You don't have to answer it if you don't want to, but I'm just going to ask it because I know you're going to think about it. Do you like sex, and do you have it because it feels good, or you have sex because you want to have a baby?
I, most
I'm asking a
everybody
question.
have sex because it feels
There
good.
it is.
It's a human desire.
That's my point.
I'm not denying the flesh. I'm not denying
Oh
the
no, I'm not saying you
attraction.
are. I'm not
I'm
saying you
just
are.
saying.
I'm just making
I'm
my point.
simply saying responsible. That's
Responsible,
all
yeah.
I'm saying.
Because
Is
yeah.
living responsibly.
And we have a lot of people out here having babies that shouldn't be having babies. We have a lot of people out here reproducing that should be
You got a
reproducing.
lot of fathers out here that ain't even showing up.
That
You got
man,
a lot of
please.
people out here that's having kids, and then because the relationship between the mother and the father don't work out, the mother denies the father from seeing the child. That's still his child. Why are you using the baby as a weapon?
Yeah, that's true.
Basically,
That's true.
I mean, so when we look at all of these things, I think that sex is definitely a part of life. Nobody can deny that. But we can all be more responsible when we're doing it. And once again, if the method and the purpose of coming together to consummate is to reproduce and multiply, birth control can't be in that.
I agree with that.
So
But
the plan B,
if you out here just shooting up the club,
this
birth
dude,
birth control should be in that.
condoms need to be in
Yeah,
that.
that too. What if the condom break? See, you know, what
Well,
about that?
okay,
There are people
so
that there are
we
people
can't
that have sex.
control what's going on in the act. You know, it got good to Shannon Sharp a couple weeks ago, and he went to Instagram live. So we
But
can't say.
he went Instagram live by mistake. I go
So
Instagram live every show, and there are 3 steps that I have to take to go live. So there's no way you can make a mistake going live. That's all I got to say about that. Hey, everybody tuning in to the Real Talk Podcast. We are talking about shooting up the club. And if you shoot up the club, should you have a plan B on hand?
you should have a plan B, but give us a shout at 708-223-8953, 708-223-8953, and let us know, is birth control a good method? Is it a bad method? You know, birth control also has a lot of side effects for women. I
True.
get that. You know, sometimes women gain weight. It can lead to blood clots. A lot of different.
It throws off their
Or
cycle,
it
all
does a
kinds of
lot.
things. So
It
when you're
does a
ready,
lot. But
when you're
there's
ready to have a baby, it could cause complications.
Well, that's what birth control pills are known to do. There are other things that women can do, just like there are things that men can do. But women can. There's a shot that a woman can get. There's IUD. There's a lot of different things
What's up, Damon Williams? Awesome
that people
comedian.
can do. However, I just once
But we
again,
really only have 2 methods. Either we use a condom or we get snipped.
whatever our options are, that's what our options
That's
are.
would you get
But
snipped?
nope,
See?
nope,
So
nope. I ain't lying. I'm not getting snipped. Real
why?
talk,
But
baby.
why?
Ain't
It
getting
ain't gonna hurt
snipped.
you.
Ain't getting snipped.
It ain't gonna
Regardless, ain't getting snipped. I
all right,
might have
everybody.
2 sets of twins coming. I don't know. I ain't getting snipped.
Fly guy shooting off triplets. Okay, so let's keep going, guys. So we were just talking, but plan B, ladies, if you decide that you don't want a child, you have to be cautious of who you're sleeping with and how you're doing it. Ladies, if the man is 40 years old and he's still living in his mama basement, don't let him shoot up the club. And another one, if he is 45 years old and he don't even have a debit card, don't let him shoot up the club. And I'm not talking about the Chime card or the Rush card. He has to have a real bank account.
Fly guy's gonna tell you, uh, birth control. If that's your method, do what you do responsibly. I would say that if that's your method, do what you do responsibly.
So there's a lot of things going on in the world right now. There's this whole thing about the dollar store manager
Man,
takedown.
she took him down.
Now she follows him. She hit him with a vehicle. Is there such a thing as a justified theft?
So here's the deal with the dollar store issue. The incident, the brother goes into the dollar store, grabs a bunch of things, runs out the store, puts them in the basket on the front of a bike, rides off. Manager runs out the store, jumps in her car, she chases him,
Mm.
runs the dude over, knocks him off the bike. Then, as he tries to get up and is picking up the items that he's shoplifted, she hits him with the car door when she opens the door. So
He
my
didn't die,
take
did he?
is no, my
Did,
take is so what do we know? She did all of that. What if that brother was in there taking essentials for his survivorship? Is there a thing as justified theft? What if he was taking toiletry items? What if he was taking things that he needed for his daily survival?
mhm.
There are times people need body wash, people need towels, people need deodorant,
Okay, I'm good.
people need things for their
Yeah.
survival, people need hygiene products.
Did he
So
sue them? Is he suing them?
I no, he claimed he was going to sue her.
What? But he can sue the store. He can sue the dollar store as a whole because first of all, why are you chasing this man? It's not your stuff. The stuff is insured. So when you step outside of that, you're acting on your own cognizance, and when you do that, you put yourself and other people at risk because what if she would have hit someone else? What if she would have killed the man? You can't do that. It's just like being a police officer. Now you can't do a foot chase. You can't do a car chase because everybody's getting sued. And I guarantee you, Fly Guy, that man is going to sue
And that's okay. He
and
had
he's
no
going to
business
get
being in
paid.
there soon. He had no business being in there
He had
stealing.
no.
I chased somebody out of a store. I years ago, Fly Guy managed Blockbuster Video. Yes, indeed. And I took my job serious. I was the
What's
manager.
Blockbuster Video for the
Blockbuster
people that don't
Video,
know?
baby. We was it. VHS, DVDs, baby. New release ball. Lit. I managed Blockbuster Video at Clark and Division. And somebody came out of the store stealing DVDs. I chased them down.
Did you catch him?
I caught them. Yes.
And what you
And
do when you
then
caught him?
I was transferred. Now, I managed the store on the Gold Coast at Clark Division. And then because I was a good manager, I was asked to take over a store in an at-risk community on 59th and Western
Mhm.
because they were having some problems with the turnover of employees, and then they was having problems with people coming in there stealing. Okay. So this man comes in 59th and Western, snatches some DVDs. I chase him through the Pizza Hut parking
Are you
lot. I
crazy?
chase him down to Artesian. I was determined. My adrenaline was flowing.
That's when you
But
were
then I
young.
stopped.
Yeah.
But then I stopped because I said, and then another one of my employees came out and got in the chase with me. But then I stopped because I said, this brother is familiar with this hood.
Yeah.
I'm not from over here. I work over here. I don't live over here. So he knew the direction he was running in, and I was basically following him.
Right.
So I stopped. And then I just turned around and took it as a loss. But a pet peeve of mine, I don't have no tolerance for thievery.
But
I would rather you come in and ask me for, come in there and say, I'm hungry. Can you give me some of your concession? Can I have some chips? Can I have some cookies? Can you give me a soft drink? I'll give it to you and pay for it out of my pocket at the end of the night.
right. But he
But
don't know that.
stealing, yes, you ask and
No,
you
but
will receive.
they don't know that.
Ask.
But let me ask you a question, and this is a question for you, Earl. I know you've done security at high levels. If you are in a place, Earl, that you're protecting, and someone happens to steal something and runs out, are you going to chase them? And why aren't you going to chase them, Earl? It's a liability because if something happens to you,
Is
that
that the 18-year-old Earl talking?
no, that's the smart Earl talking. Because here's what's going to happen: if you chase that person and something happens to you while you're chasing that person, guaranteed your company is not going to protect you because they don't have to. Everything that's in that store is insured.
It is.
It's insured. So when you
But for
go,
me, it was the principle. I
yeah,
saw
but
it
it's
as
the
a
principle.
violation and I
Yeah,
took it personal.
but now my next question to you is this, Fly Guy: after catching him, do you get a bonus? Do you get anything extra? Do you-
Actually, you do get a bonus. Actually, truth be told, you do get a bonus. The only inconvenience in it is if you catch them and you involve the police,
But what
there's a
if you
trial,
catch
you
them?
got to go to court
What
and
if you
all of
catch them,
that.
Fly Guy? Because I know you ain't got no weapons on you, Fly Guy.
No.
What if you catch them and they have a gun, or they have a knife, or they have a stick, or a bat, or a hammer, and they proceed to hit you over
Well,
the
then
head
you
with it.
just surrender it to them and let them have it.
But yeah,
But if it's
but
just
the
a
fact that you
one-on-one,
caught them, they might still want to haul off and hit you.
well, then you fight for you. At that point, if they got a weapon, obviously you're not going up against that. But if it's you one-on-one with the person and it's either you against them, what you gonna do? You gonna stand up for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's either you or them. So you gonna handle your business.
Well, personally, I'm not chasing them.
Well, we know you ain't gonna
I'm
chase
gonna watch him.
nobody.
I'm gonna say, "Oh, he had on a red hoodie, jeans, and some white sneakers, and he was about 5'10". Now, y'all do what y'all
Now
got to do.
that was the 20-something-year-old fly guy. This fly guy wouldn't chase nobody.
This
But the 20-something-year-old fly guy,
hey,
yeah, I felt ego.
this fly guy is working in the office or working remotely.
There you go. And this
He ain't
fly
chasing.
guy
He
ain't
ain't chasing
chasing
nothing but he ain't chasing
nobody.
nothing but a cup of coffee and a donut to the kitchen.
There you go. There you go. And a Cobb salad for lunch.
See, that's that bougie stuff. What is a Cobb salad anyway? Just give me a salad. I heard
Brother.
ranch, Thousand Island, Caesar dressing, croutons, little onions, a little
I thought you ate
bell pepper.
healthy.
I
And
do.
you don't know what a Cobb salad
No,
is.
because a Cobb salad, I've seen one. It's really not healthy. They put a whole lot of stuff on it.
They put a lot of stuff in there.
That's not healthy though.
But you can get it made signature for you.
And I just told you lettuce, croutons, onions, tomatoes, bell peppers, onions. That's a healthy salad.
That's a healthy salad. That is. But everybody be careful if you're working in a store and you're working in an environment and it gets a little shady or it gets a little rough, let it go.
Yeah, don't chase them.
I hate to say this, but Simeon is right in this instance. I don't give him kudos all the time for being right because he most of the time wrong.
Ex-president, ex-president Jimmy Carter.
Yes,
is
shout out
100
to
years
JC. JC is 100.
He's 100 years
He
old.
turned 100 years old. He's the longest living U.S. president. He has
Wow.
outlived George Bush. I think was like 94 when he died. And Jimmy Carter said his only wish now is that he can live to be able to vote for Kamala Harris.
Do you think that Joe Biden is going to live to be 100?
I am not God. I cannot say, brother. That is not a question for the fly guy.
He might fall asleep
cannot
until he's
say.
100.
I cannot say. I wish longevity on everyone, but I am excited to say Jimmy Carter was one of the best presidents we had.
Is he
Just
Democrat?
a really,
Okay,
really
just checking.
stellar president. Did a lot for the country. Handled, I should say, a lot of things that we know today for the during his presidency. And Joe Biden said that he admires him so much. He was a former peanut farmer and Navy veteran. Um, yeah, he lived 6 years longer than President George Bush, who was 94 when he died. And he's only trying to make it to vote for Kamala Harris. They had a celebration for Jimmy Carter. There was a star-studded concert at the Fox Theater in Atlanta that featured performances of Love Shack. I remember that song by the B-52s and some of the best songs by the Allman Brothers, which was a Southern rock band. And these people
B-52s.
raised money for his campaign in 1976. So
B-52s, ain't that a wing spot?
no, if it is, I ain't never been there.
You ain't never heard of
I
B-52?
never heard
Earl,
of
you heard of
B-52s.
B-52s, haven't you? That was a wing spot.
I have not.
I don't know if it had anything to do with the song, but it was a wing spot.
The Healthy Eater. Tonight we have our person-to-person letter, and person-to-person letter can always get a little risque. It's always something interesting. You know, life be lifing for people, Sim.
Hey man, look,
Life be lifing.
I'm with you on that.
So you got to make sure you hit us up at 708-223-8953 to give your feedback on Plan B, your birth control. Give us your feedback on your favorite episode of Good Times featuring John Amos. And then let us know what you feel about tonight's Real Talk person-to-person letter. Here it is, Simbo.
I want to get through this person-to-person letter because we got some stuff to talk about, guys. And I just noticed, Earl, it seemed like time is going fast today. It's already 8:34. So let's do this person-to-person talk because we got to talk about all kinds of stuff. We got to talk about baby oil. We got to talk about
Baby oil. Oh my. Okay. Real talk. What's up, real talk? I usually mind my own business, but this one time I feel the need to get involved. I suspect my next door neighbor is in an abusive relationship. There's constant commotion over there with police involvement at least 2 to 3 times per week. The young lady who I will refer to as Olivia is a beautiful girl, highly educated with a successful profession. She's 35, the same age as my daughter. Her boyfriend is an insecure menace to society and a complete jackass.
Wow.
I'm convinced he hits her. One summer night, I had my windows open. I heard them arguing. She screamed and glass broke. Oh my God. I called 911, but I didn't see them arrest him as I peeked through my window. She probably is too afraid to press charges. I can't understand for the life of me why some women make such awful choices in men. Not having a man is better than settling for a piece of man. Real talk, what should I do? I want to help Olivia. I know if that were my daughter, I would be in jail next to Diddy for a crime I committed. Should I get involved or simply do as usual and mind my own business? Real talk, please offer your feedback. Olivia and I both could use your suggestions. Signed, the unashamed and unapologetic nosy neighbor.
Well, I'm glad that whoever wrote this put nosy in there because that was what I was gonna say. But I would say call the police and
A
then
nosy neighbor is
mind your own business.
good.
Call the police, but mind your business. When I say mind your business, don't you go over there and try to interject or intervene or get involved because you don't know what could happen. But and also you don't
Simeon
know.
trying to safeguard the community. Don't
Yeah.
chase the thieves. Don't go over there.
Hey, look.
The girl getting beat up.
Hey, this
Stay.
2024. They shooting people. They ain't just shooting up the club. They shooting people. So it's sad to say that there used to be a time when you could really just help people. And I'll say this: I've seen a woman get attacked by a man, Earl and Fly Guy, and I helped because I couldn't stand to watch a man put his hands on a woman. That was my pet peeve. I think the only time I almost got into a fight with a woman, Earl and Fly Guy, is because a woman called my mother a B, called her out of her name, and
Mhm.
that's my mother.
Right.
And that infuriated me. But when you see someone being abused or you hear someone being abused and you know about it, you should at least call the police.
You should. She said she called
Yeah,
the
that's what I'm
writer
saying.
said they
Yeah,
called. I don't know if it's a man or a woman, but
whoever it is, you did
they
you
said
did the
they
right
called
thing.
911. It's so thank you, writer, because for one, this speaks to domestic violence, which is a real serious issue. If you suspect that this young lady is being physically and probably mentally and emotionally abused, then I think a you should offer her in a discreet way of some form of counseling, because maybe she doesn't have anyone to talk to. I don't know if she has family or whatever the case may be, but sometimes people are so broken inside that they don't feel worth
Mhm.
anything other than what they accept from
Yeah,
others.
and that's that right there. That's a sickness. I mean, that's a generational curse. You probably seen your mother be abused or your grandmother be abused
And
or
you equate
your
that with
sister,
love.
and you think that's love, and it's not love. They're really hurting you. I think about the story of Tina Turner. Eat the cake, anime, eat the cake, and always, you trying to help Ike, and then he hauling off, and that's not love, that's abuse, and that's taking advantage of people, and these are things that we have to avoid. And if we see something happening like this, we should interject or intervene by calling 911 and trying to get that person help.
Yes, continue to call the police and continue to look out for Olivia. And we at Real Talk wish Olivia and you a peaceful journey ahead.
Flag, I want to give a couple of shout outs real quick. I want to give a shout out to my man Dwayne Bryant and his clothing line, God. And it's just something that, guys, no matter what you do, you have to have faith in something, believe in something, and whatever that is, that's up to you. And I just encourage you to believe in something good because there's so much negativity going on in the world. We have to believe in something good. And the other shout I want to give out is to Ralph Cigars. Ralph Cigars, everyone knows that smoking cigars is really popular right now. I remember my grandfather, I come from over 100 100 years of ministry. My great grandfather Hobson Jackson, my grandfather Samuel Henderson, my grandfather Johnny Jackson, my uncle. What I do is ministry. What Fly Guy do is ministry. But we know that pastors always smoke cigars. And if you can, go check out Ralph Cigars down on Taylor Street in Little Italy. They have their new seasonal cigars out. They have the double chocolate and the strawberry, and they are delicious.
Cool. Sounds like a opportunity Flag I don't want to miss.
And you can have your favorite bourbon if you drink, or you can have a non-alcoholic beverage.
So we're 30 minutes into the 8 o'clock hour, and on
40 minutes.
CBS, 40 minutes into the 8 o'clock hour, and CBS is currently hosting a 90-minute debate between Vice President nominees Tim Walz and JD Vance. So what you think, Simbo? How you think it might be going down?
Honestly, I don't think that the vice president debate is as interesting as the presidential debate.
I disagree.
I said that's what I think, Fly Guy.
If I'm your representative, it's just important for
No,
me
no,
to
no.
represent
I'm not
you.
saying it's not important what they're doing. I'm saying I don't think people put as much stake into it
I
as they
think they
do
do.
for the president. I that's what I think. I could be wrong because you're proving me that I'm wrong because you put just as much stake in that as you do the presidential
Well,
debate.
because that's your running mate. And so what how did you come to select this person? Who
So,
is this person?
so my
that-
question to you is this then. You didn't want to do the show the night of the debate, the presidential debate, but you wanted to do the show the night of the vice president debate.
Yes.
Why?
Because I feel like the president has already set the stage
Yeah.
for what's to come.
Yeah, yeah.
And so all he's doing is now bringing the dessert. I got my entree and I had my meal and I'm full.
But it is
So-
necessary because we need to see their thoughts and their views and their opinions on how
Exactly.
they're going to support the president if they
Because
should.
if something
be
happens
elected.
to the president, they're going to be the one to take over.
Exactly. And I'm with you on that. Like I said, I'm just today, guys, I'm on one. I'm playing devil's advocate.
And that's just how Kamala Harris came into the role that she's in.
Yes.
Joe Biden stepped aside, and now she's up to bat.
Yep.
So we will see what happens. But once again, not telling you who to vote for, not endorsing any candidate, but just make sure you exercise the right to vote your conscience. Simbo, sports talk.
Let's get into sports. Before we get into what I really want to get into, I have to pay homage and honor an NBA legend. Dikembe Mutombo, he was an NBA giant, all right? And he died at the age of 58 due to brain cancer. He was a Hall of Famer that played with 6 teams: Philadelphia 76ers, the Knicks, the New York Nets, Denver Nuggets, Atlanta Hawks, and the Houston Rockets, okay? And it's one of those things where I didn't even know he was sick.
I didn't either.
No one knew he was sick, and then
I
all of a
didn't.
sudden,
And
we get
58
the
is
news.
young.
Yes, very young. 50. I mean, you're 57.
58.
You 58?
58.
I was trying to be funny. I thought he was younger than that, y'all. I thought, but
58.
that is young.
Most people think I'm 29.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't go that far. I'll give you 33.
Most people think I'm half my age.
I give you wait.
Follow Fly Guy.
Half of 58 is what?
29.
Okay. And a
Can
half.
you did you do math in school?
Boy, you know I had a learning disability. Stop playing. Math was not my
One
my
plus
strong-
one is
3. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, so rest in heaven to Dikembe Mutombo. And let's get into football. Man, the Bears won. I watched
finally.
the whole
Somebody
game.
put on CC Peniston finally.
The Bears beat the Los Angeles Rams, and it was a good one. There were a lot of victories in the NFL, and my man, Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is a beast. He ran all over them boys, and it's just one of those things where it was a good game. The Green Bay Packers lost to the Minnesota Vikings. Wah, wah, wah.
The Lions
And
won Monday Night Football.
The
Yay,
Lions
yay.
won Monday Night Football.
Detroit,
and-
Motown.
Yep. So, and I'm actually going to do a movie in Detroit, shooting with my man Dewan Ford. You know,
Shout out to the
from Judge
one.
Knott. From Judge
My
Knott.
man, the judge.
And speaking of movies, I want to give a shout out to Tyrant 2, which will be premiering November. I want to give a shout out to Jay Davis. His film is premiering in October. I want to give a shout out to Quincy J. Trent. His film will be premiering and dropping all over the world on October 15th. And it's just a good thing, man. Independent films. Make sure you guys support them. And in NBA, WNBA news, before I get to WNBA news, let me say big shout out to our man Derrick Rose from the South Side of Chicago, Simeon High School, retires from the NBA after 16 years. He was the youngest. He was the youngest MVP, and he appeared in two All-Star games. I know he's a Hall of Famer. I have his jersey signed by him with my name Simeon on it, Earl. Have his gym shoes. I just want to give a big shout out to Derrick Rose for all he did. And his career was plagued by injuries. Had not been for those injuries, Derrick Rose would have done even more. And what? Pete Rose died? When?
Pete Rose died yesterday.
Earl, Pete Rose died. Did you know that? I did not know.
Pete,
Pete Rose
Pete
died.
Rose died. The
Oh my God.
Cincinnati Reds.
Pete Rose died, and yeah, I didn't know that. That's another one I just called. But let me say something about our WNBA Chicago Sky team. After 1 year, after only 1 year, they decided to fire head coach Teresa Witherspoon. After 1 year, how do you fire somebody after 1 year, Earl? You ain't even give them a chance to. First of all, you just took on the team, and the team did okay, and then you fire her right away. You didn't even give the lady a chance to prove herself or to build a program. So I just want to say, Chicago teams, we have to do better. We are the only team in the history of sports that will can somebody before the season is over, after the
Well,
season is
Illinois is
over,
an at will
and
state.
not get
They don't have to have a reason to fire
I
you
know,
from
but
any
but I'm
job.
just saying, right is right, wrong is wrong. You didn't even give the woman a chance to do anything. And I want to give a big shout out to my girl Asia Wilson. Asia Wilson from South Carolina Gamecocks. She plays for the Las Vegas Aces. She won her second MVP, and they are in the playoffs right now. So shout out to Asia Wilson and Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, all of the women in the WNBA that's doing great things. I want to say
Who's going to coach the Barbie now?
I don't know who's going to coach her, but I'll tell
Simeon,
you
maybe
one
you can
thing.
coach. You
No,
coach
no,
girls
I do, but
basketball.
I'm done. I'm retiring after this year.
Okay.
I got bigger fish to fry.
Okay. So that's a
So,
denial for Angel Reese.
yep, that's a denial for Angel Reese. She come with too much. I ain't got time.
Well, brother, I'm
I love her. Don't get me wrong, but I ain't got time. I ain't got time for all that. But hey, so after talking about all of that, let's finish the show talking about something that everybody's been talking about. Let's talk about P Diddy, aka Diddy, aka Love, aka Bad Boy, aka Take That, Take That, Take That. Oh, I shouldn't be saying Take That like that because that's part of the reason why he in the messy end because of that. Take That.
well, the truth is what it
100,
is.
100 bottles of baby oil. Johnson and Johnson, P Diddy Johnson Johnson.
It was a
1,000. Did I say
thousand
100?
bottles.
I'm gonna say 1,000
Yes, a
bottles. A
thousand.
thousand bottles of baby oil and 740 something.
Did the Ciroc stock go down?
I don't know what went down, but I know one thing. Costco came in and said, we don't even sell baby oil. They ain't want no part of that. I want to know who is he sending to get this baby oil? And Earl, did he have one room dedicated to the baby oil? Like one room? Because that's a lot of bottles of baby oil.
It
That
is,
can
but
you
when
can have a baby swimming pool with that much baby oil.
right, but that tells you what elevated perversion he was going through.
Man,
With the things that he was doing. What do you need? I don't care how ashy you are. I don't care how much eczema you got. You need 1,000
you can't
bottles of
put
baby
baby oil
oil.
on eczema, man.
Whatever
I
you're
got
using it
eczema.
for.
That'll
So
make it worse.
what if that makes it worse? Then clearly that does not justify having
But
1,000
not only
bottles.
that, Earl, they say that people that attended his freak offs had to get IVs. What kind of freaking
What do you mean they had to get
they had to get
IVs?
IVs because they were dehydrated and because some of them passed out.
Oh my God.
What was
That's
going on that you need an IV? I don't know about you. I've been on this earth for a little while, and I'm not a virgin, but I've never needed an IV.
how experimental are you,
No,
Simeon?
not that experimental, evidently. But I just want to say,
You never ruptured anything?
man, I ain't never ruptured nothing, poured nothing, sprained nothing, broke nothing.
So
Look, dried out, nothing.
I think that the problem is, man, that this dude really was over the top.
Yeah.
Now,
Money and
all
power, bro.
jokes
Money and
aside,
power.
we looked at the R. Kelly situation, and everybody frowned upon that and talked about, how just inappropriate it was and how disgustingly gross it was. I think this tops that.
No,
I think this tops that.
this definitely
And
tops that. I mean,
I,
he's now the whole thing about the freak offs. Let's get this straight. I mean, people have been doing freak offs since the beginning of time, Earl. If you go to a bachelor party, what is that, Earl? It's a freak off. It's a freak off. If you
but I
go,
don't know that they had 1,000 bottles of baby
no,
oil
we ain't
at
talking
no
about
bachelor
we ain't
party
talking
I've
about the
been
baby
to.
oil right now. We talking
And
about the freak offs.
lubricant,
We talking about the freak offs.
jails, and all that.
We talking about the freak offs. It is not illegal to have a freak off. It's not,
It's not
because
illegal.
people they agree to do it, and they go and do whatever they do, whatever that is. I never been to a freak off. Don't want to go to a freak off. I ain't interested
So,
in being freaky with a bunch of
freak
people.
off is now a modern day term for orgy.
Yeah,
Because that's all it is
Yeah.
an orgy.
yeah.
Let's just call it
A
what it
bachelor
is.
party could be an orgy. A
It's
bachelorette
not
party.
necessarily.
Yeah,
It could turn into. It could be, but that's not
98% of them turn
typically.
into it.
So every bachelor party that I went to, I didn't go thinking I was going to an orgy.
Exactly.
So,
But what
when
popped
you
off?
went, I believe that these parties that he had
Mhm.
were so quote unquote exclusive that people knew what they were going to.
Well, the after
Pe-
party.
Whether it was the after party, whether it was the primary party, people knew what they were going to
Exactly.
begin with. The
Exactly.
problem is, no, it's not a problem. You can have whatever type of sex capade you want to have. However, the problem is when you're drugging people, when
forcing
you're
people.
sexually assaulting
Yep,
people.
that's
The girl
problem.
said she drank. A young lady said she went to an event, had a glass of wine. She got real lightheaded. She couldn't remember where she was or what was going on. The girl passed out, woke up. She had been sexually assaulted with her hands tied behind her back.
That's called she was roofied.
And okay,
That's not right.
So
beating women is not right. Beating women is not right. Force.
All
Let me
of
tell you
that is
something.
just foul. And I'm not laughing at it because I got a mother, 3 sisters.
Yes.
There's prominent women in my life. I have zero tolerance, like this real talk letter that came in with domestic violence. I come from a family of men's men.
It's sad
You don't
when
put your hands on women. You don't disrespect
At
the
all.
woman by no front. It's just ridiculous how it sounds.
It's sad.
1,000 bottles of baby oil.
It's sad. It's sad. Earl, let me ask you a question. Fly Guy, let me ask you a question. Would you want to engage in any type of sexual activity with a woman that's not coherent,
No,
that's not aware,
no.
that didn't say, I'm
not engaging in a group sex activity,
consensual.
period.
This is consensual. No.
I'm not engaging in a group sex activity,
I don't.
period.
Fly
I
Guy,
don't
I
need
don't want to look at
collaboration
you
for everything.
Exactly. I don't want to look at you while I'm looking at her. I don't.
Well, I don't have.
I don't want to see the gray hairs on your chest while I'm looking at her smooth chest. I don't want to see that.
And I want to see the gray hairs below your navel while I'm looking at her. So
I don't even know if I got gray hair or not. I manscaped.
So
hey, you better stop manscaping.
So the point is, man, I mean, if you into that, whatever turns you on, whatever floats your boat, brother. But it's gotten ridiculous. And now the brother has asked P. Diddy, the judge, for an appeal to hold him without bail. He don't want to be, he's asking them to give him a bail, I think like $50 million or something like that.
He asked for that and they denied it.
They denied it.
If they deny you a $50 million bail, they want you bad.
They want you.
But here's the key. They not only want him, they pulling up a RICO case. You know what that means? That means they trying to get everybody that was involved. They're trying to say they're trying to get people that was just at the party that didn't do nothing, but they saw
because
what
you're
happened.
An accomplice.
But you're not, because I have no control over what you do.
If I
you
go
can't,
in,
you can't take me down.
If I go in Macy's with you and you steal a leather jacket, I'm going to jail just like you. Because I'm an accomplice, dude.
If you're at that party, Fly Guy, and you don't know what this man is about to do, and he does it, that doesn't make you an accomplice.
It does.
You didn't touch anybody.
No, it don't matter that I didn't touch anybody. No, if I'm in the frat house and the girl run out hollering rape, everybody in that crib is in trouble.
Yes, true. That's true. That's true.
Everybody in there is in
But
trouble.
bro, that there's a lot of people
It
that
ain't no hands off. I didn't touch her. I
you're
didn't
right.
this.
You're right. There's a lot of people that's gonna go down behind this, Earl. If this is what they're trying to do, we're talking about look at all the record executives that resigned after this happened. The people that stepped away, they trying to get
Because
little.
your name is Smudge.
They trying to get little. They trying to get up out of there. And if don't nobody know what get little mean, that's a term from Chicago mean that you getting up out of there. They trying to get little. They trying to leave. They don't want to be vindicated. I mean, they don't. They want to be. They want. They don't want to be included in what he did. But the thing is, P. Diddy was so freaky and clever. He recorded everything.
He was reckless.
So
and what's done in the
I
dark
think he's
comes
going
to
to
the
take
light.
people down with him.
What's done in the dark
And people that
comes
we
to the
know,
light.
people that we know and love, Earl, are going to go down. Because we know a lot of people in Hollywood is Hollywood. I've been in Hollywood. I've seen it. And I thank God that I had enough within me not to be around it. Because it's there. It is true. The things happen. I went to a party in LA where I left that party because in that party, every room that you went in, there was something happening that wasn't natural.
Exactly.
And
You have to think for yourself, and you have to think smart.
You have to be smart.
But before we get out of here, as we said at the top of the hour, we are celebrating Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month every October. We're wearing pink tonight, and we hope that you wear pink. We hope that in memory of someone that you come to solidarity. If you know a survivor, come to solidarity. Sister Strut Breast Cancer Walk is this Saturday, October 5th at the Kroc Center, 1250 West 119th Street. There will be performances. There will be the walk, and then there will be vendors. The assembly will begin at about 10 a.m. You could probably get out there at about 8 or 8:30. They always have some pre-exercises and recreational things that they do before the walk, but you definitely want to support that Sister Strut Breast Cancer Walk, Saturday, October 5th, 10 a.m. at the Kroc Center, 1250 West 119th Street. Simbo, come with your moment of inspiration as we close out the show tonight.
You got to do yours because I can't even think right now. I can't think.
I'm gonna leave you with don't compare your life to others. You just heard us talking about P. Diddy. You just heard us talking about a lot of the endangerment. We look at people and we see their status, we see celebrity, and we think success. But we don't know the man behind the mask. We don't know the real person in the mirror. So don't compare your life to others. Live your life out loud. Live real and be true to you, and give the world the best version of yourself.
And following up on that, I have a good one because mental health awareness is real. People have been dealing with things. I've dealt with things in my life. I know you've dealt with things in your life. And we have to understand and know that we have to break generational curses. We have to understand that if someone in our family was an abuser, we don't have to be an abuser. If someone took abuse, you don't have to take abuse. You have to understand and know that you are an individual. And one thing Fly Guy said, make peace with yourself. Okay. Don't worry about what other people think. You have to worry about what you think first. Because if you can't make peace with yourself, you can't move forward. You can't win. You can't be your best. So you have to make peace with yourself and understand and know that it's okay to get help. It's okay to talk to somebody. And it's okay to say that I'm not okay. All right. So I want you guys to be symbolic, simply your best, because when you're deeply rooted, it stimulates growth. And remember, there's no such thing as can't. It's not that you can't do it, it's that you won't do it. And what that means, whatever it is you need to do for yourself, get up, get in tune, and go get it. This is the Real Talk Podcast with the Fly Guy and Mr. Chicago. Simeon is going down. We love you guys. Make sure you share this with somebody. Make sure if you have something you want to talk about, hit us up, come on the show, and let's have a real conversation on Real Talk. See you guys. iHeartRadio, Intellectual Radio. Peace.
Send us that real talk letter.